You are tuned in to What a Baltimore Online Radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
I know you do. I know you do. So that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. You're a pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. Cause I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world where not much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in a chain. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is March 23rd, 2022. We are still rocking out with Women's History Month, and I have a wonderful, wonderful guest on the show tonight. I would like to introduce everyone to Aneski Anna Kesmet.
Kimset.
I knew I was going to say it wrong.
It's all good. It happens.
Kimset, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I can't complain. I cannot complain, man. All right, so I just want to let the people know how I met you. I was at an open mic, Vibes and Verses for Shamice Jacobs.
Yes.
And I was getting ready to actually leave, and you came in. You and another friend came in, and you did your first poem, and I was like, all right, let me sit down for a second. I can't leave. And then you did another one. I was like, damn. And it was great. Like we were all doing poetry before you got there, right?
Yeah.
But it's like when you came and did those two poems, something shifted. I don't know what, but I felt something, and everybody it's like you had everybody's attention. Everybody was just waiting on what words you had coming next. And I said, I got to get her on the show.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. No problem. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into it.
Okay. Well, first, Aneski Anna Kimset is actually my stage name and my pseudonym. I actually am named Thomasina Rutman. That is my birth name. And I am a co-CEO along with my partner in life, Victor Deloach. Also, his stage name is Victor CEO. And we have a publishing company together. It's called For Authors, Authentic Urban Publishing, LLC. And so we have a great history together. We love books, we love words, we love poetry, we love the arts. And so we both are authors, and we got to the point where we wanted to spread our knowledge and our skills to our people and others around us who may want to do the same, which is publish books and do poetry and just indulge in the art of words. So
I love it. I really do love it. It's wonderful. And I think that's something that our culture needs, and especially for our babies. That's good for the children. But I love it. That's awesome. All right, so let's just get into it. I know the people want to hear you spit some poetry. Before we do that, I forgot. Who would you say are your three most influential women in your life by this being Women's History Month?
Definitely from the top, Sojourner Truth. I learned about her at a very young age. My mom was still in college. She actually attended and graduated from Sojourner Douglas College. And at the time, when I was just starting out in early childhood development with school and daycare and babysitting and all. She was in English, and she was studying Sojourner Truth. And at an early age, I learned of, the strength of, our women, not just physically, but mentally and then verbally, the ability to articulate when she said, I too am woman, when she spoke up.
Mm,
And um,
love it.
off then from there we go on. I have Nina Simone, who is a great influence in my life. Another strong colored woman who found her voice, and then also with the skill of the piano was able to take words and minister to our culture. One of my favorite songs is about my very city, Baltimore.
Ah,
She says, "Oh,
mine too. I love that song.
yes, that's
Yes.
one of my favorite songs. I don't even know how many people even know, but just the
Exactly.
depiction of the city life,
Right.
and she say, "Ain't it hard to live?" But
Right.
she sung it in such a graceful way that
Right.
it seemed like it was more of appreciation, So, Nina Simone, that's another one, and then of course Maya Angelou,
Mm.
another person who was able to take their voice and let it be heard through poetry, and was able to express, women and our deepest thoughts and feelings, and coming from trauma and being able to stand up triumphantly and encourage others to do the same. So off the top, those three have been very influential in everything that I do when it comes to being a person of poetry and a word, the spoken word, and the ability to express myself. So.
Wow. I can feel the energy from you already. I can tell that you are very strong. You sound strong and positive, and I mean, I love it. I love it. Confident in a graceful way. It's beautiful. It really is. Man, Nina Simone, yeah, I love her too. I don't think many people know about that song Baltimore. That's very
Yes.
interesting. My wife put me down with that because she's a singer.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, I love Nina Simone. You really
Mhm.
got some good picks right there. That was very interesting. So let's go ahead and get it in. We don't have any issues with language or anything on my show. This is art. I want you to spit and just whatever you feeling, just give it to them. Whenever you're
Ah.
ready, you can start.
Okay. First off, I did not mention Aniski Anakim Set. My pseudonym is derived from an ancient Kemet list of names, which is also referred to as Egyptian. The early Egyptians were referred to as Kemet, and it comes from the title of the Queen of What Life Was Like. And the name Aneski itself means she belongs to me. And so, with saying that, this first poem that I'm going to do, uh, I get it out the way. It's very sentimental to me. One of the things I advocate for in my work is I speak up on mental health and um, traumatic barriers that urban life seems to have on a lot of people, and we don't seem to me to deal with it face forward. We hide behind it, we substitute for it. We don't want to really get into the grit of what's mentally going on. We don't look at mental illness as we would a physical illness. And so one of the things I advocate for is that people start taking terminologies like depression and uh being abused and abandoned, take these things more seriously. The results of these people that been through these type of situations, analyze them more carefully, and then you may really get to the root of that person's pain and help heal them. So this first poem I'm going to do is a poem that I wrote. It's fairly new. It's not, and it hasn't been published yet. It's called Woke. I woke up dead today. I woke up with my eyes still closed. My heart was barely beating. My thoughts were darker than night, and I could barely feel my face. I felt like a living corpse trying to breathe with no lungs because I was tired of all the pain that had come and chased my dreams away. I woke up wanting to die today. My blues had consumed me. My hurt had engulfed me in 1,000 tears, enough to fill the Black Sea.
Mm.
There was a darkness that had come over me. I woke up wanting to moan from feeling all alone. Depression had settled right in my chest, right next to my heart, and made an enemy of the love that I had for myself. I barely slept the night before, but somehow my physical was able to endure just long enough for the moon to set and the sun to rise, but not without a need to cry. And oh, how I cried. I wailed for all the times that I felt alone and all the times I was strong and no one knew deep inside I was really gone. I let out droplets of abandonment, disappointment, abuse, and broken promises, a merry-go-round of again and again. I cried until I wanted to die. I was on the verge of suicide, but then I realized I woke up today in my bed without an alarm, my family unharmed, somehow through all the good.
Damn. Okay, we just gonna start off like that, huh? All right.
To get down out the way, huh?
Wow. You got all right.
So, let's say that to check on your loved ones, even the strongest. Check on them, because someone woke up feeling like that. I promise you.
That damn, that really hit me right there because I feel that I dealt with some depression, and it was something that was brand new to me, so I didn't know how to deal with it at first. And in our culture as a man, like, I'm not supposed to be dealing with any shit like that, quote unquote, but
say that.
life is real and life take you through all types of stuff, you know what I mean? But that I mean, I felt that. I really did. I felt that.
Thank you.
I felt that. What's the inspiration for that?
Suffering from I speak on it. I suffer from depression, clinical depression. I was even hospitalized at a very early age. I have had suicide attempts, and so it's real to me. But when I wrote that poem, it wasn't about to glorify the thought of suicide. It was to glorify waking up. And anyone that really deals with depression knows that it's a day by day thing. It's almost as if anyone who has diabetes, anyone who has asthma, anyone who has heart issues, the brain is a muscle. Like every part of the body, it can get sick. It does have shortcomings. Sometimes your serotonin, which is the chemical that helps you be happy, is short. There are fruits that you can eat to help enhance it. The things you should do that when you're feeling down, so you can tell the difference between just having the blues and actual clinical depression. So again, this is why these are things that need to be talked about. No one talks about it. Like you say, especially even for men, our culture teach men not to cry. Well, how are you going to teach them not to have a feeling? Because sadness and depression does come. So you have to teach men the importance in all of us, even with women, having children. I have 7 children, biologically gave birth to 7 children. Postpartum depression is real. It's real. Going through your body going through physical changes, and so is your mind. So again, it was written out of the hope that someone that felt like that will remember that, coming through that, waking up, knowing that you didn't do it, you're still here, but not to just wash away the feeling. Recognize it. It was there. You were in a dark place, and the dark cannot be there without the light. So that's the point of it, to understand the balance. You recognize it, but you come out.
I love it. Absolutely, you come out. I love it. And you blessing a lot of people. You blessing me with this right now. I'm serious, because it's real. It really is. It's real. You are also an author as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have what's the name of your book that you have out?
I have a few books. 4 Authors has published 9 books in its lifetime.
Congratulations to y'all. That's some dope
Thank you.
shit right there.
6 were hard copies, and 3 were just ebooks, which we're just initially transferring over. Our children's collection was an ebooks for 2 years, and we just recently we've getting hard copies. So
All
this
right.
is, oh, let me see if I can get in the camera right.
There you go.
ABCs
Yep.
with little black sheep. Okay,
Mm,
and
love
this
it.
is the first prototype. It's real basic. You know, it's 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 real basic, and I'll show you here. You know, it's colorful. And so that's, again, we that's for the children. We write for everyone. We have poetry for the poets. We have children's book for the children's. I also have a urban novella, Poison Ivy. Oh, I had some books. Poison Ivy, which was the very first publication, which started everything. I self-published Poison Ivy, and the task of doing that was much more strenuous than thinking you're going to grab some paper, a printer, and staple and get a book.
Right.
Me going through that process, my mom always taught me that knowledge is power. And so I always want to empower my people. So once I received that knowledge, I decided to expand it to others, and our company will give you a consultation. We'll give you all the information you need to self-publish. And all we tell you is, if at any point in time it's too much for you, you pay us. We'll do it. We'll do it for you. We'll make sure you have your copyright. We don't want nothing, just more for your work to be on the shelves for others to read, because everyone has a story to tell.
Absolutely.
And so
But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all blessing a lot of people with that. Seriously, I commend y'all on that, man.
Thank you.
Damn.
I appreciate you. Our top seller right now is a urban erotica.
Okay.
It is called Drowning: Love Stories Told By. It's written by a young lady and her cousin. They go by the name of Lover X Reek. Okay. And that book was written, they came together, and believe it or not, one of the Reek is incarcerated, and so he's self-published from behind the walls. But they wrote it because they wanted to give the inmates something to entertain themselves with, and something that was from them to them. And so they came together and collaborated and came up with a great set of stories and tales. And we were able to publish it for them. It was a great project. We've been pushing it through with them. We make sure we market and promote all of our books. Everything we publish, we just don't leave you hanging as an author. We don't publish a book and say, hey, you figure it out. We're pushing it right behind you. We supporting you. If you're saying you're showing up here and we can be there, we're going to meet you there. We're going to help sell your book. So we're very intimate with our clients because, again, I didn't have that. And goodness knows, my first book, if I had someone that could take my hand and just had walked me right on through it and, prepared me for any slips or went through any slips with me, it would have been a much easier process. So we take our work very passionately. When we're publishing a person's book, we're publishing it not just for ourselves, but for them. It's for them, and that's where the number 4 comes from. It's for authors. It's for you all. We also have, oh my gosh, Poison Ivy 2 is in the works. It'll be coming out this spring. We have a book coming from another writer, E.M. Wright, called Money Grows on Trees. That'll be coming out soon. That's some white collar crime. So we have books on all levels. So we have something for everyone. I'm also in the process. I write plays and screenwrites as well. I'm working on as you know, a theater poet. I call it a poetrical experience. Okay, we're going to do some theater with some poetry in it, and just combining those two arts there. I just write. I love writing. Our motto is words are our first love. Writing is our passion. So my phone is filled. I have notes everywhere. I could write. I write for a Vital magazine under Cornelius Adams. I write, help find businesses for the Networking magazine and help write articles there, interview other businesses and help expanding their brands. So if it's a pen and a paper round, I'm going to write something.
Y'all, that's awesome, and y'all going to continue to grow really big just because you blessing other people. Everybody don't understand that part of blessing somebody else will give you a blessing as well. You know what I mean? And what y'all doing is just amazing. I love it. There's a few bookstores in our community. One, Urban Reads Bookstore. Shout out to Tia Hamilton. But we need to saturate that as much as we can, because we got so many young kids out there who are poets, who are motivational speakers, who got all types of talents, and they just need people like you all and us to just give them that push. You know what I mean? Give them that support, and they could just take off and fly. Let's get into some more poetry, because you got me pumped.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go for it. All right.
Whenever you ready.
All right. This next one is ISBN.
Damn.
ISBN. I'm sick of being a nigga. I'm sick of being associated with drug dealers, crack addicts, bad spending habits, no justice, no matter who's pulling the trigger. I'm sick of stereotypical hypocrites who feed off numbers to benefit the pockets of politics. Nonprofit organizations are monetary gains, so God help our government. Whether niggas is Democrats or Republicans, once the votes are in, we're still only 3/5. Enough whiskey to get niggas a lick. A life of bootlegging just to pay the rent. I'm tired of economical environments. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do that.
You good.
Again, tongue tied. Let me take a sip real quick, and that's all that is. I apologize.
You are good. Trust me.
I'm sick of being a nigga. I'm sick and tired of being associated with drug dealers, crack addicts, bad spending habits, no justice, no matter who's pulling the trigger. I'm sick of stereotypical hypocrites who benefit off numbers for politics. Nonprofit organizations are monetary gains, so God help our government. Whether niggas are Democrats or Republicans, once the votes are in, we're still only 3/5. Enough whiskey to get niggas a lick. A life of bootlegging just to pay the rent. I'm tired of economical environment. I'm tired of economical elements fumigating my environment. Lead in the water, liquor stores on every corner, poisoning our future like Michigan poisoned Flint. Synthetic toxins posing vaccinations, yet niggas still considered a national threat. I guess it ain't no justice when the police got their foot on our necks. I'm sick and tired of being fooled. The oldest university resides in Africa, but they don't teach niggas that in school. 28 days spent talking about slaves, and niggas still go spend their bill money each and every holiday. Then it's back to the plantation for a bi-weekly pay. Never mind that Master's been in the big White House all day. I suppose being a nigga wouldn't be such a price to pay. If the roles were reversed, would I live to see the day? Good health and good wealth is all one can figure. But until that day come, I'm sick of being a nigga.
Damn. Shit. All right. It's so first of all, not a lot of people are familiar with what ISBN means.
That's right.
Right? Damn. Oh my goodness. I'm sick of being a nigga.
So I wrote that poem, right? I was struggling, and I was trying to come up with the money to buy my ISBN.
I feel you.
Because see what people who don't know, the ISBN is like it's your right, it's your ownership to your literature when it's published. And so my first book, I let KDP give me an ISBN. That is the only book that KDB owns. All my other books, if I wrote that poem, I came up with enough money to buy my ISBNs. For every book that is published, I have my own ISBNs. And what it was my break free. That reminded me, that put me back in chains. Because that Poison Ivy, my very first book, I cannot sell to no one else except Amazon because KDB owns my ISBN. And it put me back in a mindset of slavery. and I wanted to break free. And I said, I'm sick of being a nigga.
Oh man, that you got so much information. I mean, just having your own ISBN number, because I'm in that same thing. I got my ISB numbers through Amazon. Like I bought them in bulk, as a matter of fact. You know
Yeah.
how they get you? You can buy one for this amount of money, or if you spend a little bit more, you can get 10 of them, whatever. So I gotta definitely hook up with you and your partner to see how I can do that, because that's big right there, having your
Yeah.
own ISBN. Like
Yeah.
people, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big. And I appreciate you sharing that. But the
Yeah.
way that you put it in a poem like that, like were you just so frustrated with dealing with the ISBN shit you just said? You
Mm-hmm.
just saw the letters and like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sick of being
I was staring at them letters,
shit.
all capital letters. And then somewhere along the line, there was a dot, and then there was a dot, and there was a dot, and there was a dot. And then I just started writing. And the matter of fact, the very first stanza I wrote nonstop, that is the original stanza from top. I'm sick of being a nigga. I'm sick of being associated with drug dealers, crack addicts, bad spending habits. No justice, no matter who's pulling the trigger. That was the original flow from the very first time the pen hit the paper.
Is writing therapy for you, or so many of us write for therapy? Do you write for therapy as well? Does it help you in that way?
Yes, very much so. Again, dealing with mental illness and health is one of the first things they teach you in therapy is you find your outlet. And
Yeah.
writing was my outlet. Before I even started dealing with it, though, I've been writing since first grade. I still remember my very first poem that I wrote from first grade. And let me see, do we have time? Can I throw it at you real quick?
Absolutely, yeah.
This is funny. First grade. Joey has a dinosaur. Joey has a dinosaur. It's real neat. Joey has a dinosaur with 2 big feet. Joey has a dinosaur. His name is Ben. Joey has a dinosaur. He lives in his den. Joey has a dinosaur. It's real hungry. Joey has a dinosaur. He spent all his money. Joey has a dinosaur. He lives in the den. Joey has a dinosaur. And it ate him. So that was my very first poem. And from there, I started winning like writing contests or different things in school. And one of the first things I won was a poetry book by Langston Hughes.
Mm,
So then that
that's my
really
man right
spurred
there.
me. And then that was like in third grade, and then in fourth grade I won for writing an essay a playbook by Shakespeare. And that's how I got my love for theater. And so from there, it became rewarding to write. It became rewarding. Even just when I was in church, I used to do different things in the church and involve writing or speaking from some written literature or something I had wrote derived from scriptures, and just seeing the people feel good or get a word,
Mm,
or just get something itself is so fulfilling.
yep.
And
Yep.
so again, that's where the passion comes from, just giving it that energy back out that was received to me. So
I love it. I love it. That's where I first started reciting my poetry, was at a church that I was frequent at the time. And seeing you're right, that's serious. Seeing somebody go through a transition, or seeing their mood change from words that you put together, that
mhm.
shit it does something to you. That's like is really deep.
Yeah,
We still got some time though.
yeah,
Let's get a couple more poems in before I have you share how we can follow you and all that.
got you. Okay, I got this one. This is a little bit long. I'm gonna do excuse me. Okay.
Okay.
um, Bear with me. I just started back getting on the microphone this year, and I tell you, it never fails. And I'm pretty sure you understand. You really do get jitters right before every time. It's like, whoa,
Absolutely.
it's showtime,
Absolutely.
and it's just I love it.
Absolutely. I
All right,
still do.
excuse me. Excuse me. We need to stop making excuses. 400 years and still reasoning with the oppressor. Quick to say the enemy is an adversary to our.
You good, sis?
I want to stand up. I'm so used to standing up. I got myself in the Lord because I move a lot. Excuse me. We need to stop making excuses. Quick to say the enemy is an adversary to our eyes, but he is obviously the pale persuaded beast that came and stole our land, raped and seduced our women, not out of love, but fertility. Birthing sons and daughters into slavery, only to toil on our own land, claiming to be home of the free. At least that is what they reiterate. They call it history. More like dictate to us our history. And that which we need to know still remains a mystery. Yet there is truth hidden in books our great-great-grandfathers literally couldn't read. Now we're encouraged to Google, a search engine driven by lies and hypocrisy. What will it take to make us who was once great return to the top, with our feet deeply planted like the root of a tree? Excuse me. We need to stop being fools, waving their flag, allowing them to claim this land, even though their capital was designed by a brown-colored man. Every 400 years plus, every decade they counting, they call it the census. They group us all together, then they separate us. They strip us of our identity, then they label us. They shove Christianity down our throats just to censor us. They literally beat the ancestors out of us. And we're still claiming to be the minority on soil where we once was the majority. Yet we all know, theoretically speaking, war comes with casualties. So please don't expect me to expect less than a refugee. You see, I wasn't around when Grandma told Daddy she was part Cherokee, but I do know that Tarboro, North Carolina is native land to the Cherokee. What will it take to make us who was once great return to the top with our feet deeply planted like the root of a tree? Excuse me for asking, but I just felt the need. We need to stop being scared. We conform to their image and accept mediocrity. Broke ass, welfare class, in the middle, blue collar, that's a specialty. Only to award the waymakers, those who made it out. Tell horror stories of surviving the war, famine, and the drought. But now they sit among the elite with duct tape over their mouth. From politicians to actors, werewolves just like sheep. Paparazzi overrated, shrewdly syndicated. Yet we still hypnotized by what's not reality TV. What will it take to make us who was once great return to the top, with our feet deeply planted like the root of a tree? Excuse me for asking, but I just felt the need to exercise my freedom of speech. You see what my third eye saw in black and white turned out to be 50 shades of humanity. There's no doubt when they landed on Plymouth Rock, they landed on people the same shade as me. So excuse me if I don't carve a turkey or don't put lights on a tree. I don't color no egg said to have been laid by an Easter bunny. Excuse me if I don't, nor do I feel the need to pray to their God or pay their tithes. Because you see, the color green avoided the apartheid. Excuse me if my roots grow deep like that of a tree. Yet it's not about my color, but it's all about my seed. I said it's not about my color, but it's all about my seed. Excuse me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Damn. Damn. Yeah, I'm telling you, I can feel you just. That's what I'm saying. When I saw you at Vibes and Verses, you and your friend, y'all just came right in, and it was like you was there all night. You just walked right in. You went right up to the mic and just started spitting some shit. And I was like,
yeah, I forgot about that. We were stuck in traffic and everything. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, I had supposed to have been there, and I came in there. She said, "You ready?" I said, "Uh-huh." She said, "You know, you up."
And you brought it. I'm telling you, you brought it when you did it. I mean, your poetry is strong, it's real. You can feel it. It's from the heart. Like it's your transparency and all of that you do and what you're doing and your writing is absolutely amazing. It really is, man. I mean, this shit is inspiring me right now. I'm telling you, because especially because I know a little bit about dealing with depression. You know, everybody deals with it differently and have different issues with it. But that was something for me that was just out of the ordinary. And I really had to sit down and get, talk to whoever to
Yes.
get myself in a place where I didn't feel like I wanted to choke the shit out somebody.
Yeah, I
You know
understand.
what I
Oh
mean?
yes, yes, yes. I do.
And,
I get.
and
I don't. People say, "Oh, therapy." I recommend it. If you need medication, I recommend it. What? Get whatever help you need because
right,
depression is real.
right,
It's real. And we can wonder why someone with thousands of dollars in their account, we can look and see that they done took their life. But
right,
that's just how real it is. It
right.
goes to show you that no money, no amount, they can be surrounded by their family. It don't matter. If that monster gets a hold of you and you don't get control of it, it really will take your life. I think about Robin Williams all the time. It's so
Mm,
heartbreaking. One of my, very inspirational, one of my favorite actors. And to
yeah,
think how many laughs he was able to create and not even create enough just to hold on, just to hold on. And so I tell people, take it serious, don't just brush people off when they say, oh, I'm feeling down. Just even if it's just to listen, you know,
right.
sometimes just the smallest, amount of ability to get it out will uplift you because it's a weight. It's a weight and it'll weigh you down until it crush you. So I speak on it freely because at one point in time I used to be scared, and the more scared I was, I realized it was taking me deeper into a hole. And it was because I was not giving it the full attention that I was supposed to.
Mm,
I was suppressing it, and I was just allowing myself, oh, someone, oh, you just want attention, or you just being crazy. Just no, there's something going on with me,
right.
and I need if you're not going to help me, I need you to get out my way. If you're not, we have to have good support. For people who go through it, get good support. Don't sit around that person who just wants to tell you, oh, you nagging, oh, you crying, oh, you whining. Get someone who really hears what's going on so you can find out how not to nag, how not to complain, so you can find out how to resolve your issues, because depression comes from not being able to deal with issues and trauma, so
I love it. You are so blessing the people right
thank you.
now. Look. I'm gonna let you do one more poem before you tell everybody how we can follow you. If you got something
Sure.
quick for me, I love it.
I'm gonna grab something. Because y'all done, got me off the brain. I think I'm going to end it with something very much more spoken word. And it's called "The Birth of Aneski." It's the last poem in my book. WWMAD. What would my ancestors do? A poetry book by Aneski Anakim Set. All of my books are available on Amazon. I'll tell you everything if I read this.
Okay.
I was born from the 42 ideals of my eye. Like golden strands of sunlight, I stretched from the heaven, only to be embraced by the oceans with open arms. As I grew, I blossomed like a hemp leaf, having been bathed in a pool of what life was like, washed pure in wisdom and strength, showered in perfect harmony. My mother is nature, and she belongs to me. We are one womb. Man exists because of us. My father is time, and he has planted seeds along my footsteps on a path known as the hidden way. I am blessed by the word that one day I will follow the moon to truth and serenity. The stars are my ancestors. My brothers are Jupiter and Saturn. My sisters are Venus and Mars. I am a Neski queen.
Aneski, you are absolutely amazing. You are
Thank you.
very talented. I love the way you speak and articulate your words. You got so much information and intelligence. It just comes off you. It just is radiant on you. It really is.
Thank
You
you.
are really amazing. How can we follow you?
Okay, so you can follow Four Authors on Instagram at four_authors. That's the number four_AUTHORS. And you can also follow me. I've recently started my own page, Aneski Anna Kimset, on IG at ANESKIANAKEMSIT. I will be sure to be posting definitely the link to this, and also any upcoming events. If you guys are doing anything tomorrow night, catch me at Vibes and Verses with my girl Shamise, and we will be posting all of our future events for any spoken word, poetry, or theater. Anything that Aneski and a Concept will be dealing in, that will be on my IG page as well.
Y'all heard it. Aneski Anna Kimzet, right?
Yes.
Y'all follow her, get her books. I thank you so much for coming on. You are the strength and the reason why I wanted to have all women on for this Women's History Month, because y'all needed. You're needed. You really are. You're needed in our culture and in our community. You are like the mother. You know what I mean? Seriously, and the skills and the things that you have that you could pass on to so many young people is incredible. And you're a mother of 7 children. Like, you're superwoman. What?
Just biologically. Oh my gosh. I have a crew. We got a whole football team. Yo. So let them know who want to meet me at the 50 line. We ready.
You got a whole team, huh?
Yes, I do.
I love it. Aneski, thank you so much for coming on. I definitely have to have you back on again. I definitely got to have you on.
We will be doing. This is just the beginning. I appreciate you. I too. One thing as a woman, I do give my respect to our kings as well. We have to be able to be as one, even though it's Women's Month. I do want to shout out to the kings, because we have to be able to be as one in order for us to grow together. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate you recognizing my talent enough to feel to have me here. And I just shout out to the Mother Experience. I wanted to give them a shout out, because when I leave from here, I'm going to go celebrate with them. And this has been an amazing experience for me. Thank you, Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I appreciate What Up Baltimore, everything. So let's go. Let's do this.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, I got to have you on again. The people definitely want to hear more from you. Y'all follow her on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you can follow her. Get all her books. And like I say all the time, y'all, if you want to be blessed, you must bless somebody else. If you want to be blessed, you got to bless somebody else. Aneski, I'll be in touch with you. Tell Vic I said what's up. I'll be hollering at both of y'all. Thank you so much for coming on. Y'all be safe out here.
All right.
All right.